Hi everyone, 2023 is officially ending, and looking back, it's been quite an eventful year for myself. I graduated college in May, and promptly after that, I started my MBA degree. But besides from these milestones, I have also picked up several good habits in 2023 that I would like to continue perfecting in 2024. And I want to share these 6 habits with you in the hope that it can somehow inspire you to hope on this journey with me of establishing new good habits to transform our life for the better coming to 2024. So getting enough sleep. As an early riser, for me, it means that I go to bed early and I wake up early, and the key here is to stay consistent every single day, even on weekends and holidays. So when I was in grade school, especially in high school, I've always had to wake up early to go to school and to study before going to school. When I started college, this habit was really difficult to maintain because there are always new commitments or like unexpected tasks pop up, and it's really hard to maintain a good sleep schedule because we're also surrounded by friends, and it's really hard to go to bed early. But as I graduated college, I wanted to get back to this healthy habit of going to sleep early. I think the tips that have made this habit stick for me in 2023 was that I forced myself to go to bed at the same time every single day, no matter I feel sleepy or not. So I just get on my bed and continue doing whatever I want on the bed, whether to study a little bit or scroll my phone a little bit or read books. And I admit that having the phone on my bed is not a good thing, and that's exactly what I'm trying to fix coming to 2024. Also, I find that having a physical alarm clock does help me with waking up because I don't have to see my phone the first thing in the morning compared to if I have the alarms only on my phone. Number 2 is to read more books. So growing up, I have loved reading books. They were my main form of entertainment and my main source of knowledge. My parents were very strict about me being on a TV or on a computer for too long, and I didn't have a phone until I was 16. So most of my time when I was younger, I spent reading books, and I've really honestly enjoyed reading books. But when I got to college, there are so many things that needs to be done every single day, and there are so many books and homework that I have to read and complete. And those make reading become some things that I've always procrastinate doing because they don't seem as appealing to me anymore. So in this year, 2023, when I have that gap, in the summer after I graduated, I slowly picked up the joy of reading books again. I think the 2 main tips that have helped me to be able to do that, to be able to read more, was that first, I learned how to read many books at once. The good thing is that there's always something for me to read every time of the day, no matter what my mood is. For example, when I wake up with a fresh mind in the morning and feeling energized and wanting to learn something new, I can pick up a more of a self-help educational book. But when at night, when I already a little bit tired and drowsy, I can pick up something more lighthearted, something more simple that don't force me to think about as much. So reading many books at once kind of balance it out and making reading so much more enjoyable every single time. And the second tip is something I don't see a lot of people talk about enough, but it is that to get to know the author before I picking up a book. So there were a lot of books, for example, The 48 Laws of Power, That seems very intimidating to me at first, but because I got to know the author via their interviews, their presentations, their newsletters, their podcasts, that I've slowly get to know and get to understand the mindset of the author and also their way of communicating, that I've decided to pick up their books. Habit number 3 was to be more intentional of my media consumption. I think that my social media addiction rooted from COVID during lockdown, when I had plenty of time and I started to view social media as pure time killers and pure entertainment. 2022 and 2023 was like the blooming era of short form content. Of course, we already have TikTok, but then Instagram Reels, and we also have Reels on Facebook, and YouTube Shorts became so much more popular. And to be honest, at first I had a pretty positive viewpoint on short form content because I like how sometimes I will be able to learn something new just from a 20 seconds video. But I quickly realized that the thing that I learned from that short video does not retain after scrolling through the TikTok app for 3 hours, and it's such a waste of time. So in this year, I learned to be more intentional with the form of content that I consume. And the first step of that was to avoid short form content, because when you scroll through your For You page, you cannot really have a choice in what content will show up. And the way that I was able to do that was to slowly delete the social media apps, starting with TikTok, Facebook, and then Instagram. I can still check out my social media on a web browser. It's not as satisfying, but that's exactly the point. Or sometimes when I need to post something, or if I want to intentionally spend some time scrolling TikTok, I will re-download the app. But the key is to delete it right after I finished with what I want to do. The fourth habit was to journal. The funny thing is, I've known about journaling for too long, but I've only picked up this habit this year. And the reason is because I've always viewed the activity of daily writing in a notebook as writing a diary. And to me, to keep a diary means that I have to summarize every of my single day, put it on paper. And just like a lot of 20-something people, I don't have exciting things happen every single day. But I slowly discovered that there are different ways that people keep their daily journal entries. I know there are people who write about 10 things that they're grateful for every day. People who listed out 3 of their top priorities that they want to complete in that day. And there are also people who journal at night and pick out one story-worthy moment in their day. And I have experimented with these different journal prompts in 2023. And even though there's a lot of work that I need to do to be more consistent with keeping my journal, I think that to be more creative with my journal prompt and to keep it simple has greatly helped me to establish journaling as one of my habits this year. The next habit is to show my work. This was a big thing for me in 2023 and something that's completely new that I've never tried before. I've always considered myself a pretty creative person, like I'm not super artistic, but I've always loved to be able to create things, whether making videos, writing stories, writing poems, taking photos of people. It's just fun to be creative. And it's not until I pick up the book, Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, that I started to think about sharing my work to the world. And that epiphany moment was also the reason why I'm trying to build my YouTube channel right now, and also started my blog at Quan and After Graduation, which you can check out in the description. I really enjoy the process of creating something in sharing my journey and my products with the world, because having an audience means having people who can hold me accountable to keep on creating, keep on publishing content, and it's just a very fulfilling and very fun thing to keep track of, which I would definitely encourage everyone to try it. If you don't want to do YouTube or you're shy talking to a camera, you can just have like an Instagram profile where you share your work. If you like cooking, you can share the dishes that you cook every day. Just put your work out there, be creative, and enjoy the process. And last but not least is to plan my week ahead. The reason why I was able to try out so many new different things this year was because I learned how to plan my week ahead. This is something that I've always been thinking about doing, but it never stick to me as a habit. But everything changed when I picked up the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and the author recommended scheduling the week ahead. So not just schedule the day ahead, but like the whole week ahead. The tip here is to schedule everything. So if you're a student, you don't just schedule your class times, but also schedule which time you go to bed, which time you will have dinner, which time is designated to you doing your homework, for example. Just schedule, laid everything out. Of course, there will be unexpected commitments pops up, and sometimes you have to not stick to your schedule, but the key is to have everything laid ahead so that whatever changes, it will be easier for you to fit it in your already existing schedule. I feel that having my week laid ahead helps me to visualize everything that I am expecting that week and make me going through the week easier and less chaotic than it was in the past. I wish that I've picked up this habit earlier when I was in college, but I'm grateful because I was able to do that in 2023, and I would also want to continue planning my week ahead in 2024. And those were the 6 habits that I have established that have positively impacted my 2023, and I would like to continue in 2024. What are the habits that you have picked up in 2023 that you're very proud of? Or what are the habits that you would like to get rid of in 2024? Let me know in the comment, and give a like for this video, and Happy New Year!